Good morning, everyone. Welcome to Board Game Breakfast. I'm Tom Vasel.
I'm Wendy Yee.
I'm Chris Yee.
I'm warm because Philadelphia was cold. We just got back from PAX Unplugged.
Philly was comfy.
Philadelphia was cold.
I would have freezed if I had been.
Everyone agreed. And Chris wore pants, so it couldn't have been comfy.
But that was very comfy.
How many days did you wear pants? Did you wear pants every day?
No, I wore it 2 of the 3 days. Yeah. I wasn't shorts once, and I wasn't trying to prove a point. It was just very comfy. Mm-hmm. I love that weather, Tom.
Anyway, we have our own conventions, which are held in warmer climates, Dice Tower West and Dice Tower East. You can sign up for both of those. Plenty of room left in them. Sign up today. Let's see. That's pretty much all we're going to talk about now because we have the Dice Tower Winter Spectacular starting up next Monday. And we need to get ready for that. So we're just going to get started. But before we get started, we have a contest. We have a contest for a new game. Well, not a new game. It's a reprint of an older game. In fact, I've reviewed the original game called Splitter. Splitter is a game where you're going to roll dice, and you're picking pairs of dice, putting one on one side and one on the other side of it.
Splitting them, if you will.
Sure. So you're trying, but they have to be asymmetric to the center axis, like a mirror image. Maybe they should call it mirror. But anyway, it's a roll-right game you can play. It says with up to 11 friends.
I don't even have
But not
11
12 friends.
That's not even
12
the...
is not okay.
That's no, because that would make 12. 11's legit.
Yeah, what's wrong with 12?
No, because then it would be 13 players. That would be weird.
Oh, I see.
Anyway, if you want to enter this contest, just email us at contest@dicetower.com. In the subject line, put the word Splitter and answer the question, how many dice rolls will complete the game? And 2 people here in the U.S. will win a copy of that. So congrats. Our big giant contest with the box, 10 bags of games. That contest has ended. We have not picked the winners yet, or they're being picked right now, but we'll announce who they are when that comes around. But there's more contests coming next week in a Winter Spectacular. But let's get going today.
Hi, it's Tarrant.
And Stella from Maple University. What do we have here today, Tarrant?
We have the latest dice action drafting Euro game from Daniela Tascini and Simona Liciani.
The Duo. So the game that I have not sure how to pronounce it properly, Tiletum, but it's contender for our top 10 2022 games. Ooh, very enjoyable game.
Very enjoyable. I know I have had a hit and miss relationship with their games and with their dice drafting games. This one certainly hit for me. It felt tight. It felt like they had struck a really nice balance between knowing when you need a certain resource or a certain action and having to pick the dice. So I thought it meshed together really well.
It is indeed. It is, I think this is the second one when we got impressed with Board and Dice games that we have. The last 2, which is Terracotta Army is the other one, and this one. So they are doing well with their kind of like medium to heavy Euro games this year.
Yes.
I haven't actually played the lighter version. I think there's another one that's lighter version that came out. Mm-hmm. But yeah, this is a really nice game, really neat. I was very competitive with this one.
You were. You snapped into competitive mode extremely quickly the first time we played. Normally we have our gentle practice play, but this one triggered something in both of us.
Yeah, it was just like, yep, start away. So yeah, really recommend it. And I think you should get it and play it. Thanks for watching.
Bye.
Assalamu alaikum. For Machi Koro, I've created a new story mode called A City Lost in Time. I was trying to be whimsical just based on how the artwork of Machi Koro is, trying to add whimsy and anime-like characters in the story while presenting a town which may have been left out of time, out of touch of the external world and what is happening outside. Still trying to build small bakeries, small wheat fields, and trying to build up their economy. This is meant to be played ideally with the deluxe box or you can have your Machi Koro with the Millennium Row as well as Harbor expansion to utilize a lot of cards in this. So each of these missions will progress the story a bit about, which is inspired from the Machi Koro legacy game. But each of these missions is going to add a variety to the mission. It contains 10 missions, and by the end you will have gone through a full story as well as have a lot of variety of missions to play in it, plus have a rotation of specific cards that you will get to play. Even the game is going to tell you how to put things in envelopes, so that for each mission you will open that envelope and take out specific set of cards, so that the setup becomes easier as well for that specific mission, and slowly add all the content. So if you are just starting with Machi Koro as well, that is a better way to play in my opinion, so that you get to see all the spectrum of cards and get time to actually use all those cards as well, variety of combination of cards. So if you are interested in that, get the Machi Koro story mode from the Machi Koro file section on BGG. That's it for me. Happy gaming.
All right, today, 20 years ago, and I'm really glad we're moving to another year soon, is
Are you
the
running out of content?
Bucket King. No, not really. It's just I don't feel like talking about these boring old games that no one is going to ever play.
No,
Because 19 years ago,
can you dare
less
say that
boring
about
games.
Bucket King, Tom? Look at this.
that reminds me of Mr. Bucket. Remember that like commercial? Mr. Bucket.
You had to
The
run
Bucket King
around.
is from Stefan Dora, who is an excellent designer, has done many good games. Might know him best for Sale, which is a fantastic game, or
Nobody at
Medina,
this table likes that game.
which is a great game.
I
You
know
like
him-
For Sale?
I know
No,
him
he
best
loves
for
For Sale.
Bucket Cup.
Chris loves For Sale.
Oh, For Sale is
Like
a
one of his most
fantastic
favorite
game.
games of all time.
The Bucket King has like a stack of buckets, and it's kind of a take that game where you're knocking buckets out from someone else's grid, like that. And
Oh, they're just cardboard flat
Yeah, they're
buckets,
just like
though.
flat.
It's not like stacking cups.
there is a version.
Oh.
Oh, there we go.
I want to see the like stack cuppers.
And then when you take the lower buckets out, you can knock off a bigger part of the pyramid. It's a bit of a take that. I've given it a 6. My original review of it was higher. It says I have to recommend it highly. But that was 2003, Tom, which is almost, well, that's actually less than 20 years ago. But
Was it-
I didn't review it when it first came out.
was it kid friendly?
Yeah, it's
Let you
very,
play
very
with your
free.
kids.
It's 4 pages. It's really simple. I said there's a lot of luck in the game, and the decisions don't affect it too much, and it's all for kids and people. And I just don't have much. Man, that cover's terrible. The more I look at that cover,
What
what is going
animal
on in
is
there?
that?
It's a cow.
Oh, okay.
So
Oh, it's like spraying little steaminess. I thought that was like fuzz. So I was like, is it a sheep? Is it a?
interesting.
Does it have horns?
It's like a bowl in a bucket factory.
It was re-implemented by a game called Bucket King 3D.
Oh, that's
like
the stacky cup one.
That's the
right
one with the
there.
stacking cup. That
You
one I
made
gave
it-
a 6.5 to. That one I reviewed 8 years ago.
You made us look at a cruddy 2D
I
edition.
was like, I think that cover's worse.
You don't like the pig with the snot coming out of his nose?
No.
Oh
Not a
man!
fan.
All right, if you're watching this, folks, you deserve to look up the cover of what is it called? Bucket King 3D.
No, see, I actually disagree here. That's from Jolly Thinkers, and that's how all their games look. I like that. I think it's a charming look that they have to their games because they do the dogs and the cats. They have a whole series of games with that
They
art on
do,
it.
yeah. Are they called 3D though? Cats and Dogs 3D.
Well, no, this
Well,
one has
most
3D
cats and
buckets
dogs
in
are
it.
3D, Chris. They're not flat.
You have a point, Wendy.
Yeah. So anyhow, Bucket King, I don't think is it. Mike's looking to see if it's on our database. It's not, happily. So anyway,
So sad.
you can look it up on Board Game Geek. Anyway, I think it's not worth your time to hunt this game down, but this is the kind of game that was out a long time ago. See, if we were doing, so next week we're going talking about the best of 2022, and there's so many great games that came out in 2022 that I have not even played yet. Maybe not great, but there's a lot of good games I haven't played yet. And back 20 years ago, we were stuck playing the Bucket King and considering should this be in my top 10 of the year, which it was not. Anyway,
I mean, did you play Hot Dog Chicken or whatever that game is?
yeah, but we're not talking about. I'm confused.
No, that seems at the level of Bucket King.
No. Bucket King is a better game than that. Again, it's not a bad game. It's just a 6. A 6 is a fine game. So, well, there's a link in the description.
Oh, there
Alrighty.
you go. Thanks, Loopy.
So that's Bucket King. Next week,
Hi, everybody.
Hello, we are Ryan and Bethany.
From Ryan Bethany Board Game Reviews.
All right, today we're talking about Wormholes. This is from AEG, and it's been designed by Peter McPherson. In this game, basically, it's a pick up and deliver style game where you are picking up passengers all over the galaxy, and you have to deliver them to the planet they want to go to. However, it's such a long way just to kind of fly through space the boring way, right?
Oh, so boring.
Why not jump through warp holes?
Yes.
So what you're doing is you are kind of building these wormholes, using them to transport yourself faster and faster all across the galaxy so you can deliver your passengers to the planets they want to go to.
Guys, I had so much fun with this one. Like, I really like you all start in the same place, and you kind of go out trying to go to these different planets that are on the board, and I just really liked how it ramped up. You're starting slow, and it gets, like, really fast, and the game ends, and it's really fun, and for me, when I'm playing this game, it's one of those games to where I'm just going to want to play it again. Like, flip a few tiles, go at it again, just to see if I can lose by more points.
I like how there's a way that, and everyone's kind of building their own wormholes, but you could use other people's wormholes as well, but you had to pay them a kind of like a toll fee, basically, right? As you're using their wormholes in space. So I like the flexibility that you had as you're going as fast as you can, whatever route you need to do.
Yeah, and I like that this was a space game. Like, a lot of space games are about exploration and doing stuff like that, and this was more about building something. So I like that it was a space theme, but it was still slightly different.
It was like route building with some twists.
Yeah,
big time.
yeah, so that was fun. I liked this one. Well, everybody, if you want to hear more from us, you can find us on YouTube. We are Ryan and Bethany Board Game Reviews. Everybody, this is Ryan and Bethany. Hoping you have a happy, healthy breakfast.
Bye, everybody.
Bye, guys.
This is a segment where we take a look at a board game based on an IP, activate the IP in the mechanisms match. Today we're looking at WWF Wrestling Challenge. Play Wrestling Challenge is very easy. You're going to get a number of wrestlers based on the player count and a power card to go with each of your wrestlers. You will start your pawn out on one of your wrestlers you choose, and then you roll the dice to move. You can move any direction you want. If you land on draw a card, you simply draw a card from the deck. If you roll on a challenge or a wrestler that's not yours, then you both go in the middle of the ring and you have a wrestling match. What you're going to do is you're going to roll a dice and compare. Higher one wins, and you will win one. You have to win 3 of the battles. If you have a power card, you can always play a power card and add it to your dice, but you have to play it before you roll. The person, and if you lose a match, then they are out in the box and eliminated from the game. The last player left with any of the WWF Superstars is the winner of the game. Like a Survivor Series match, you have to eliminate everybody you're up against. While this is a pretty terrible game, we're not going to judge that. We're looking to see if the mechanism and the IP match. You're going to have wrestlers jumping into the ring and fighting each other with a dice roll-off. While not an interesting mechanism and not one I would recommend anybody designing a game, it does work that you're jumping in the ring and you're fighting. Now, had this game been called Survivor Series, it would have made a lot more sense because you're going to have a team of your own WWF Superstars, and one by one they're going to be eliminated until you're the only person left with WWF Superstars. And if you totally eliminate the other team, you win the game. That would have been really neat if this was called Survivor Series. But it's not. It's called Wrestling Challenge. And I gotta tell you what you gonna do, brother, when you have a board game based on WWF Wrestling that takes out the most interesting aspects of wrestling, which is the storylines and the characters, and you just have stills and you're rolling a 6-sided die to see who scores the highest? Well, you're gonna have a pretty bad game. And that's what you're going to get in a WWF Wrestling Challenge. Steer clear because the IP doesn't work, the mechanisms don't match, and there isn't any redeeming factor about this game.
steer clear. Anyhow,
In case you were wondering what that was, next week, steer clear.
Oh, it all connects.
all right. So today's a shorter week. This week, obviously today is Tuesday, so we're running a little bit
It is
behind.
Tuesday.
We had to wait for breakfast. I'm so hungry.
Today at noon, Camille will be doing a Q&A, so come join us for that. And me and Eric will be showing up for an At the Table with Jeff Engelstein at 3 p.m. So we got some live stuff going on today. Tomorrow's live, we're doing the Sorcerer's Arena finale of that championship.
Chris versus Z.
Oh, yeah. Z better cower in fear while he still can, because until tomorrow, I'm a threat. After tomorrow, I will no longer be a threat.
And then crowd surfing tomorrow at 2 p.m. Thursday, we'll be doing our top 10 cooperative games, as well as board game smorgasbord. And then Friday, there's nothing live because we are setting up for the Winter Spectacular, which will be all live next week. There's a lot of stuff coming, and we hope you join us for that. But there's all kinds of reviews coming up this week. We got Weather Machine, Wayfarers at the South Tigris. Finally, someone on this channel is reviewing Antique or Ghost.
Thank goodness.
I've been wanting that one to be
Are we
done.
taking it on a roadshow?
Graham's doing that one. And Rich is reviewing Santa versus Christmas, Dice
Santa
Throne.
versus Krampus.
Did I say Christmas?
You
You
said
said
Santa
Krampus.
versus Christmas, which sounds like the best court case movie I've ever seen.
I'll stay close. We're going to be
who's
talking about that
doing
in a second. Joey's looking at the Saga expansions for Dead Reckoning. And there's lots of different things coming up for you this week. So stay tuned. Let's keep moving.
Hey there everyone, it's Jen, the Board Game Librarian, flipping some pages and pushing some cubes with my segment From the Page to the Table, where I pair books and board games together that share a common theme. This week I am taking a look at a book titled Marrying Mozart, written by Stephanie Cowell. My husband Matt had purchased this book for me several years ago. We share a love of music, as Matt's a church organist. And this book follows the four Weber sisters, of whom Mozart was involved with almost every single one of them and ultimately marries one of them. So it talks about their life, their careers. Some of them were quite talented in their own rights. And then what his wife does for him after his death and how she really tries to bring his name forward since he died a pauper, right? Kind of a fun historical read, not that long, not that big either. If you are into musical history, I'd recommend this one. So I feel like we can't say enough about Lacrimosa by DeVere Games. This is for 1 to 4 players, ages 14 and up, 90 minutes. Folks, I feel like this is the game of the year. Lacrimosa is... So again, Matt is a trained church organist. He's played... in Austria, and amongst other places, and the attention to detail in this game is outstanding. On the surface, I think it looks like it could be just another medium to heavyweight Euro, but this game has so much. And how many music-themed games do we have that are actually good? That's the caveat. Actually good. That's all for this week. Happy breakfast.
I'd argue that there's not a lot of music games that aren't good either. There should be more music games that don't involve people singing.
La 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 la.
No, I mean, there are a lot of music games make people sing.
Yeah.
So we have enough of that nonsense. All right, best of the shelf. Here's the shelf. All right, first we have Council of Four. This is a game that did not get a ton of hype, but a really, really good game about... I mean, it's definitely kind of just points upon points upon points, but controlling these different councils. City of Gears, a game about moving robots around a city and controlling different spots. Starship Captains is the newest game here on the shelf. The new from CGE, as you move around and manipulate space, or moving a spaceship around using workers. Really nice components. Scorpius Freighter, which they just were giving away at the PAX Unplugged for a very, very inexpensive price. A game about filling up a freighter with goods and selling them. Cooper Island, this is a very heavy game. Too heavy for me, frankly. Too much work for too little payoff, but I know a lot of people like it. Now we have a bunch here from this company. I don't know how to pronounce her name, but Outlive is a very good game about the future, like apocalyptic future, trying to control your little gangs. Very interactive game. Daimyo, very similar, some area control. Interactive, also post-apocalyptic. Maybe that's their theme there. Netatanka is one I don't like as much as the others because of workers. You're placing workers at two ends, and then you get something that goes in between them. Poseidon's Kingdom has the wave mechanism, a very unique, interesting way to crash dice into a board. The Boldest is a very unknown game, kind of a sort of deck building game, but really neat and with a very fun theme. Mountains of Madness, you can find it on our most ridiculous game list because it looks like a serious game, but it ends up being very silly. Pillars of the Earth, which is the only game of this trilogy to make the Dice Tower library, but a classic game. Space Gate Odyssey, beautiful game as you move around on your little space base trying to build it up. And then Australia, a Martin Wallace game about zombies in Australia, or Cthulhu or something. You know, I never played it.
Is it actually about zombies?
It is definitely
And
not about
Cthulhu?
zombies. It's about Cthulhu.
In Australia?
My pick for this shelf would be
You're reading off the paper?
Council of Four. I don't know why I have the papers in my hand.
So this
And the winner is...
That's one that Chris claims that I've played, and I don't remember playing it.
It's
So-
really good.
I mean, it's Tashini and Luciani, right?
Yeah, and you get bonuses by whenever you build a thing on the board, you get a bonus, but you also get a bonus for all the stuff it's connected to. So the bonuses compound. I really like it.
You have to be
I
really...
think I'll like it.
You have to be really careful when you build on that board, though, because I didn't make all of my stuff one big contiguous thing as quickly as I should have, and man, people can just exponentially zoom past you.
Interesting.
It's also been years since I played it, so
I don't remember ever having that happen in a game, actually. Exponentially?
I mean,
Maybe you had a really bad game.
I might have had a really bad game. Yeah, I mean,
We should
to
play
be
it.
fair, in my old game group, there were a couple fellas who were like, "Oh, okay, you'll figure it out," and then just would whoop me.
Oh. Well, that doesn't
We
happen
may or may
here
not
as much.
know people like that.
Yeah.
So,
No, I really like Cooper Island. That's the one on there that's my favorite. I like that it's one of those games that's like super tight, and you end the game with anywhere from 20 to 30 points. And I was super happy because
You end
I
the
got...
game anywhere from 9 to 20 points.
I was super happy. I got like 29 points once, and I was like, oh, I almost hit the cap. So awesome.
that is my least favorite game on that shelf.
Really?
It is the epitome of a game that is not fun. Like, there's no fun in it.
Oh, I
It's
disagree.
work.
Oh, it's
It
so
is
fun. You're
work.
building up those levels, and you're like, oh, this thing is so much higher now.
It is the tightest economy, I think, of any game I've ever played.
It is extremely tight.
That is not fun.
It's tight, but it's not necessarily unforgiving, right? Food Chain Magnate is both tight and completely unforgiving. I think that one has, I think it gives you moments to have lots of clever play. And I love stacking up the little tiles and stuff so that, I have a 5 tall stack of mountain. That gold on there, one little gold cube, is 5 gold because it's on the 5th level. You know what I mean? You can build
That
to
would
a
be
point.
really fun in a better game.
I don't know. I think you build to a
I
point where
like
you
it.
feel like you have riches, and then you spend it, and you're like, "Oh, it's a little tight again." But
You also get free stuff every round as you're going past those little islands.
What are you
Moving
people
your
out there
ships.
saying, I'm not really interested in any of these games, but it's such a wide swath. How can you not be interested in any of them? I just told some of them are really good. You should try some of them. You could, if you like heavy, boring Euros, you have Cooper Island. If you like mid-weight stuff, you got Council of Four. And if you like light stuff, you got Mountains of Madness. And Pillars of the Earth is a classic.
Well, and I'm going to give a shout out really quickly to Daimyo. I think Daimyo was on my last year's 2021 surprises list because it looks like I thought it was going to be this big, nasty area control game. Even as you were teaching the rules, that's what I thought. But it turned out to be, there's a little bit of that, send your shadows, send your ninjas to kind of take each other out. But I thought it was a really well-made, really interesting kind of, it's got a little bit of area majority, a little bit of control, but it's really slick. The way that you upgrade things in it is and it felt very fresh and nice. So, yeah, I don't know. Yeah, if you don't like any game on this shelf, then you probably haven't played enough of them.
Yeah, I find it very odd to say that you would not want to play, because this is not one of those shelves where all the games are the same.
It's about
They're all
shape of
very
box.
different.
Does Mountains of Madness have anything that makes you sing in it? Like any of those curses?
I don't know, maybe.
Mike, do you want to give Outlive?
What was your
a nice
game again?
shout-out?
I know that you said Cooper Island. Was yours also Cooper Island?
Yeah, it's Cooper Island, yeah.
All right, I apologize for this crossover stuff, but all the other games are better. All right, let's move on.
Good morning, Board Game Breakfast. My name is Amanda Polk, and while I'm usually here talking about a game I'm looking forward to playing in the future, I wanted to take some time to talk to you about a game that I was looking forward to, that I did get to play, and how it went. This week, the game is So You've Been Eaten. The game that I played while I was thinking about and waiting for and feeling excited for this game was Under Falling Skies, which is a great, solo game where there's alien spaceships falling down at you from the sky, and you're rolling dice and trying to fend them off. In this game, again, space themed, you are a miner going into the belly of an alien trying to harvest crystals, but instead of playing against just sort of a randomly generated obstacles, you actually play against another person. So instead of just random ships falling down at you, someone is strategically pushing things your way and trying to beat you. So it kind of takes the same one-player experience and turns it into a two-player experience, and, in my opinion, turns it into two pretty decent one-player experiences as well, where you can play as just the beast against a robot miner, or you can play as a miner against a sleeping beast, which creates, for me, a very similar feeling to Under Falling Skies, where there's a conveyor belt and you're working on your own to try to beat it. I think it's great that you can play the same game and get sort of a similar feel with two people on that conveyor belt. I think it's a great game. I've really enjoyed it. There's a funny-ish gimmick of that the game can play itself, because you can have the robot miner going up against the hibernating beast. I don't know if you want to watch a game play itself and have to like help move the pieces around, but hey, it's a possibility if that's what you're into. So for me, So You've Been Eaten, it's been a fun game. Glad I got it and spent all that time looking forward to it. Hope you're having a great breakfast, and I'll talk to you later. Bye.
Happy breakfast, everyone. Today I'm here to talk to you about this dice throwing game, Mischief in Diagon Alley. It is loosely Harry Potter themed. You are rolling dice and either grabbing an item from someone on your left, your right, from the middle, depending on what you've rolled on the dice. Maybe you're trying to get rid of your broomsticks because your shop down Diagon Alley doesn't need it. And, well, you're not waiting for anyone. You're straight away rolling again. You can be trying to be quicker than everyone to get what you need by rolling the dice. It's super lucky because that's the whole sort of game. It's the first to get your shop, have everything that it needs quicker than everyone else, and it's based on the dice. So who is this game aimed at? Well, it's the family audience, isn't it? It's the sort of game that can completely level the playing field. It's not going to be the game I'm going to get out at a game night with gamers because it's so lucky. But if you're looking for a game that you could pull out and anyone playing has a chance to get points and actually go on to win, regardless of how old or young they are, how much experience with games they've got, well, this is the sort of game that will do that, because you roll the dice and it's all based on what it does. What are these dice allowing me to do? That's useless to me, but I'm going to go again and hope that I get a better dice roll. And again and again and again. And it is quick, it is fast. And it just means anyone has a chance to win. So for families, this sort of game, well, actually, it maybe does have its place. Anyway, let me know what your thoughts on games that are super lucky. And until next time, enjoy the rest of your breakfast.
So I looked up online, and apparently, streaming-wise, there is 171 new Christmas movies premiering this year.
Oh,
Only
interesting.
171.
And you watched all of them before you finished watching Andor.
This was...
Well, you haven't finished watching Andor?
No, I've
This
no
is
rush
the real.
to do
This
that.
is the real important discussion of today.
Well, we're
Forget
reviewing...
Christmas music, Christmas movies.
We're choosing to review that in a week or two or whenever we do this thing next, so...
We'll see.
You have
happening.
homework.
We'll see. It's not. I'm not watching Andor before Christmas. I think there's no time.
You have
anyway,
171 movies
here
to
are some of
watch,
the names of the movies: Legacy Peak, Noel Next Door,
Ooh, yeah.
The Retaliators.
Done. Okay.
Oh, I like this one. An upstanding pastor's life unravels after the shocking murder of his daughter on Christmas Eve. His faith is tested when he embarks on a dark journey of revenge and uncovers a twisted underworld in which he can never return.
This is, so it's
Sounds very
it's basically
Christmassy.
a copy of the Velocipaster.
It sounds
Got
like
it.
Christmas versus Santa.
We need a little Christmas. That has to be already a title. We wish you a married Christmas.
Also a murder mystery.
That's Hallmark.
Oh, married? Yeah.
That
I
is
was
Hallmark.
Like, this clearly.
A Kismet Christmas.
Okay, that's John Wick 5.
A Cozy Christmas Inn. because they didn't stick cozy and Christmas in together yet. Catering Christmas,
There's a lot of alliteration going on.
Jolly
in
Good
these
Christmas, Christmas
movies.
bedtime stories,
With Adam Sandler,
Ghost of
yeah.
Christmas Always. I hate that title.
Wow, that is worse than what was the Murder Clause Christmas? What was that other one called?
Violet Night?
No.
The Retaliator.
Retaliators.
No retaliation.
Christmas on the Farm. This is one of those, apparently, where the guy, a New York socialite, who fakes her identity to get her book published, has to rush back to her deceased mother's farm.
No. How is that going to work out?
Where she
I have no
falls in
idea.
love.
Meeting Mr. Christmas, a Wesley Christmas, Santa Games, My Christmas Fiance,
Is it like Hunger Games?
It's like Squid Games.
Oh, Squid Games.
Menorah in the Middle. That one I like. Oh, but the description here is, this year for Hanukkah, Sarah's heading back home with her new fiance to meet her parents, but her bakery's closing down. Then she runs into her old school friend, Ben.
Wow, there's so many stereotypes all in one little snippet.
Christmas on Repeat, A Magical Christmas Village, Merry Swissmas.
Ooh, that one's about
Ooh.
cheese.
Oh, I really want hot chocolate now.
Christmas Masquerade, is that like a single thing?
Masquerade.
All Saints Christmas, Falling for Christmas. I'm running out of these titles. Some of them are One Delicious Christmas.
Go back to the murder mystery.
Bobby
one.
Flay's in this one? What? No, it says it. He's in here.
Noel Next Door with Emerald Lagasse. Bam!
A Gingerbread Christmas. In Merry Measure. Anyway, so we're talking about Christmas we've actually watched. So we're talking about three real quick here. The first is Guardians of the Galaxy Christmas Special,
Which I have watched.
which is great.
Absolutely.
It's very, very short, very silly.
It's really impactful on the MCU.
I was going to say, advances the Marvel continuity a little, actually.
There's a small thing in there that I
Two
think-
small things. Where they are
Yeah.
is a thing, I guess.
Yeah.
I didn't see it in the previous stuff.
Yeah.
It's dumb, but funny. It's worth your time.
It has that really obscure Christmas song that we like.
It does, the one by the waitresses.
Yeah.
That's not
Merry
obscure.
Christmas. Merry Christmas. I had
That's
never heard
very-
it until like 2 years ago.
It's very popular. I hear it all the time.
Really?
Yes.
I don't just
seldom-
listen to the radio. Or
I
like
would
just
say
general
that in the
Christmas
past
music.
10 years, I think that's one of the most popular new Christmas songs that come out.
Really?
Yes.
Wait. It's not new. This is an 80s song
Yeah.
we're talking about.
But I mean, it's got a resurgence. I'm
it's
sorry.
had a, okay.
It's
A
having its
resurgence.
heyday.
And I was like, oh, I've heard the
Say.
song by the waitresses.
Okay.
Isn't it called Christmas Wrapping?
Christmas
Yeah.
wrapping,
Yeah.
yeah. I really like that one. It's a very cute thing.
It's a fun little story.
I think Glee pushed it out. It
Oh,
might be.
is that a
Glee did a
thing?
version of it,
Oh, okay.
and I think that made it
popularized
popular.
We got it. My brother and I have this tradition of giving each other birthday presents because we both have December birthdays. We just find the strangest Christmas albums we can find and give them to each other. Sometimes they're great, and sometimes they are
Hal Leonard's
less than
Merry
great.
Christmas.
Hal Leonard. Yeah, I've got. Anyway, yeah. So that's an aside. There's some great ones I shall share one day.
Phineas and Ferb.
Anyway, the Guardians of Galaxies special is as short as it needs to be, by which I mean
It's like a half hour.
it ends before it gets repetitive.
Yes.
Yeah.
I liked it. It's great. It's not really a Guardians of the Galaxy special, so go into it knowing that it's mostly Drax and Mantis. Like, they're 80% of
They
it.
are.
So if you're there to see Groot, he's waving at the camera, basically.
You get to see Teenage Groot, though.
But he's
He's
barely
a
there. It's like a
moment.
cameo. And Rocket is also barely in it.
I feel like there's more Groot than there was Rocket.
Yeah, possibly. But anyway,
But it's
that's
good.
good. Thumbs
and it
up.
felt, and it felt Christmassy.
8.5 out of
It
10.
did feel Christmassy.
Next up, we have Not the Dog Days of Christmas, or A Tiny Home Christmas,
Three Dog Night Christmas.
Reindeer Games Homecoming, which has nothing to do with Ben Affleck. Reindeer Games, A Merry Christmas, Our Italian... Anyway, is A Christmas Story Christmas, which is a final sequel of sorts to A Christmas Story. Christmas Story has, I think, 2 sequels to it, which were pretty critically panned.
Was Bobby Flay in them?
No, but a lot of people don't like A Christmas Story either. My wife hates it with a passion.
You know, I never finished it. I have started watching that movie probably 10 or 15 times just because it was always on TV.
No, if you're on TNT, you'll see the ending at some point.
No, I just never saw the ending. I always saw like the part where he gets the BB gun, and that's about it.
So
That is like pretty close to the ending.
Is it?
Yes.
That's like the part I've
gets
seen like a
BB
bajillion
gun,
times.
and then he sneezes, and all the aliens are like, Earth germs, and then they die.
He gets his mouth cleaned out with
It's
soap
hard
at
for me
some
to do
point.
some
That's
reviews
about
here.
it.
So anyway, A Christmas Story Christmas is a sequel to it, which has almost all the characters from the first one, the actors from the first one, including the main character, grown up. And it's very, very good. It's not as good as the first one. It has some callbacks to the first one. So, for example, he has flashbacks still, or like dream scenarios of, saving the town, things like that.
Wait, he saves the town in the original movie? I haven't seen the ending. You ruined it.
No, this is in the very beginning of the original movie where he wants a Red Ryder gun, and Bart comes in and he's shooting him with the gun and says,
I don't think I've seen the beginning either.
Okay.
I've only seen the middle.
And so you've seen 5 minutes of it.
Anyhow, he has these same kind of sequences a little bit, but it's a very different story. He goes back home. His father dies. That's not a spoiler. It happens in the first minute of the movie. So he's going back home to save Christmas. It has some shades of, actually, National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation, I felt. There's some similarities to that. But I liked it. It's warm-hearted. It's nice. Like, it's not as good, but I enjoyed it a lot.
I'm reminiscing.
Then the final one is...
Number rating?
I'd give it an 8.
Okay.
I'd give it an 8. And then the final one, which I'll give a 10 to, is Spirited. Spirited is a new musical, Ryan Reynolds and Will Ferrell. It is yet again, in a sense, another remaking of Christmas Carol, sort of. But it's done so in a much more, it's closer to Scrooged than it is to any of the traditional Christmas carols. And it's a musical that is just, the music in it is top notch. I mean, you will hum the tunes afterwards.
I don't remember a single tune, Tom. I legitimately don't.
Oh, well, I do.
I remember one of them because of the funny line. But, I think that was one of my criticisms. I didn't find the music as earwormy as you think.
Okay, well, from my end of the things, I thought the music's fantastic. Eric Summer agrees with me, and he is a big Broadway guy. You're a rock guy, so we'll stay over here in our Broadway lane.
All right, cool. Hey, look, it's no menorah in the middle. I'll put it that way.
It's really well done. It's funny. I enjoy it. It has a good story behind it. A bit of soft-hearted. Not too soft-hearted, though. It's more snarky than it is anything else. But I thought the music was fantastic. I've added several of the pieces to my Christmas list, and some to not Christmas, because it's not all the music is Christmassy, per se. This is on Apple TV. The first one, Christmas Story, Christmas, was on HBO, and the Guardians was on Disney Plus, so that's where you can find all of them if you want to do them. But anyway,
But was the shutting down bakery saved? That's really the question.
the what?
The bakery that was shutting down, did it get saved?
What bakery?
Oh, some movie you were talking about.
Oh.
She hasn't seen Spirited.
I haven't seen Spirited.
Oh, well, no,
I know nothing about
I'm
it.
recommending all three of them, actually. There's other Christmas movies, too, that, the ones I'm talking about here, these are mostly 6 Degrees of Santa, Christmas at the Golden Dragon, Christmas with You. That's really sweet. Navidad.
Well done.
Christmas Party Crashers.
Tom, I really liked Spirited. I liked it a lot, but did you say that you would give this one a 10?
I would. It's one of my favorite movies.
I didn't feel that way. I really liked it, but it also, I think you'll like it a lot if you like the Guardians of the Galaxy style humor, where there's humor will undercut more serious moments.
Yes.
And I thought that it didn't serve this movie as well as it does for like Guardians of the Galaxy and other Thor, Ragnarok kind of films. It had a lot of good spirit to it. I really did like it. I thought the ending kind of dragged. I think the whole movie was a little bit longer than it needed to be. I would probably give it like a 7.5 or an 8 or so. But
that's fine.
Yeah. I liked it a lot. I just don't think it's like the perfect Christmas movie. I don't know if I have a lot of drive to watch it again, honestly.
I've watched it 3 times already, and I'll be watching it again next week because my daughters will come in and I'm going to show it to them. So
I told Wendy,
you find that time?
I told Wendy, you should watch it. I'll go do something else.
All right, there you go, some Christmas movies. And that is, I think, the end, right? No, we got more?
One more contributor.
Here we go.
One more.
Minasan ohayou gozaimasu, and welcome to the Board Game Dojo. My name is Eric, and today we are covering 2 interestingly themed indie card games from Japan, Time is Delicious and Non-Drunka. Time is Delicious is all about aging your meats at just the right amount using bacteria, and then selling them for maximum profits. But be careful, because if your meats age too much, they go rotten and are absolutely worthless. Non-Drunka is about not getting, well, drunk. And it works a bit more like the game Coyote, where you can see the other player's cards, and then there's a hidden card in the middle that has the limit. But Non-Drunka, unlike Coyote, you can actually adjust your hand rather than just adjusting the bet up and down. I bring these up together for a couple of reasons. The first one being pretty negative, which is they both aren't very good. They both definitely needed more playtesting and balancing before they got published, with both of them having way too many rounds in which everybody just scores 0. Which, especially in the case of Time is Delicious, when you keep going until somebody hits 50 points, and the maximum round score that I've seen is be somewhere around 10, it takes way too long to do. But the second one is much more positive. I love how indie game designers in Japan, Taiwan, South Korea, the region that we specialize in at the Board Game Dojo, they just keep coming up with unique game designs that have a theme that I've never seen before. I mean, how many games have you seen about aging meat or just not getting drunk and passing out? These are both amazing concepts for push your luck games that, even though these ones were complete misses, make me want to keep supporting these small publishers that are putting out these $8 to $12 games with unique concepts. And before I go, I have a question for you that you can leave your answer in the comments below. What is the most unique game theme you've played recently? Thank you so much for watching the Board Game Dojo today. I'm Eric. 짠네.
Hi, I'm Jordan. I love Star Wars. I love the movies. I love the animated shows. I love the Disney Plus shows. Andor's on right now, and I think it's one of the best things Star Wars has ever done. I think there's so much in that universe, or our universe. It's hard to, I think it might be a different galaxy, but still in ours, that's a little, but it was in the past, so it's all cool. But Star Wars Pandemic recently came out. It's called Star Wars The Clone Wars, and this is different than just a straight Star Wars Pandemic. It has a lot of twists. It's got conflict resolution using dice. It's got, the cards are kind of more of a tableau instead of a hand of cards. You got, but all the cards have different clones on them, and they all have the names on it, and it feels like the people that were putting it together were like really, really trying to tie this into the theme, and that really comes through, and it feels really nice. But I'll be honest, I've seen online, people are complaining that it's too easy, and I have had a lot of trouble beating this. I might just be really bad die rolls on our part. Maybe we're mismanaging our cards. I don't know. I've played this a number of times, and I think we've only won it once. And yeah, so I'm going to keep playing this one. I do enjoy it. I love Star Wars. I love the Pandemic system. It feels like a game that was made for me. But yeah, I'm just having some trouble cracking this one. In the comments, what are some like co-op games or games like that where you just kind of are having trouble cracking that, even though everybody else says it's so easy? But I don't know, guys. I think it's great, but I'm just dumb, I guess. Jordan, thanks.
I don't understand that. Why do you have to be dumb to like that game?
I like the game.
No, he can't beat it.
Oh, he can't beat it.
Yeah.
Well, I can't beat most games. I am dumb, though, so that's not a problem. I lose cooperative. Hey, we're talking about cooperative games later this week. That is not on my list, actually, because I've not played that one yet. I'd like to get that one played at some point, but there's no rush on it. I'm actually getting Star Wars out, is what it is. Star Wars was my favorite thing when I was a teenager, and now I'm kind of...
Too much of a good thing?
I don't know. It just doesn't appeal to me right now. I don't know why. Maybe it will come back. Mandalorian. Bring me Mandalorian season 3. That I'm back on. Baby Yoda is all I care about.
Yeah.
Baby Yoda is Star Wars now.
Baby Yoda is Star Wars. Baby Yoda. All right. That's it for Board Game Breakfast. Come back at noon for a Q&A and at 3 o'clock later today for At the Table. We got other things going up today, too. Until next time, though, I'm Tom Vasel.
I'm Wendy Yee.
I'm Chris Yee.
Have fun. Merry Christmasing.
Thanks for watching Board Game Breakfast. Tune in each week for your daily dose of gaming goodness with Tom Vasel and all the gang. Until next time, I'm Eric Summerer, and you've been watching Board Game Breakfast, a Dice Tower production.